Everyone expected a warm, steady, carefully guided conversation. What they got instead was a slow-burning clash between two women famous for keeping their composure, one of them losing that composure far faster than anyone thought possible. Inside a quiet Today Show-style podcast studio, under soft lighting and spotless copyright core, something was about to break loose. And by the time the final question landed, Meghan Markle would be on her feet, Savannah Guthrie would sit in stunned silence, and the crew would be frozen, unsure whether to keep rolling or hold their breath. There was no live audience, no applause. Just two microphones, two chairs, and a royal temper rising like a quiet storm. The studio looked peaceful, almost too peaceful. Two white buccal chairs, a simple wooden table between them, neatly arranged notes, two glasses of water, and tall silver microphones stood like calm guards. Behind them, soft shelves displayed plants, minimalist vases, and perfectly aligned neutral-colored books. Everything about the set whispered calm professionalism, the type of space where nothing dramatic should ever happen. At least, in theory. Savannah Guthrie let out a slow, steady breath as Meghan Markle took her seat. Meghan looked sharp and calculated, her posture straight, chin lifted just enough to signal readiness, and her eyes already defensive. The tension wasn't visible to the untrained eye yet, but Savannah had sat across from enough world figures to recognize early warning signs. Meghan wasn't here to talk, she was here to control. Savannah smiled warmly. "Meghan, welcome. I'm really grateful you agreed to sit down with me today." Meghan offered a small, polite smiley, one that didn't quite reach her eyes. "Well, Savannah, I chose this space because I assumed it would be a place that respects my voice." Savannah's smile slipped a fraction of an inch. "Of course," she said softly. "My goal is always respect." "Good," Meghan replied, crossing her legs and smoothing her dress. "Just making sure we're on the same page." Savannah let the comment drift away. She expected a little edge, but not this early. She turned toward her mic, keeping her tone gentle. "So," she began, "you've often spoken about rebuilding your life in America. How has this new chapter shaped you?" Meghan leaned back, her eyes narrowing. "It shaped me by freeing me," she said. "America is a place where I don't have to be reduced to someone else's idea of me." Savannah nodded. "And yet," she continued carefully, "many people feel they've gotten to know you through your interviews, your documentary, your podcast. Do you think the public truly understands you?" Meghan released a short, slightly dismissive laugh. "People understand whatever the media chooses to give them, which is why I'm selective about where I speak." Obviously, a thin layer of awkwardness settled. Savannah moved on with care. "You've mentioned that leaving the UK gave you a sense of freedom, but some critics say you and Harry still discuss the monarchy often. How do you respond to that?" Meghan's eyebrows lifted, her tone sharp. "Savannah, do you expect me to feel guilty for telling my own story? Isn't that what platforms like this rely on? Stories?" Savannah inhaled softly. "I'm not suggesting guilt. I'm only asking how your past still shapes your present." "Maybe people should focus less on my past," Meghan replied coolly, "and more on what I've built outside of a title." The temperature in the room crept up. Savannah tried another path. "Let's talk about your family, your children. How are they doing?" Meghan paused, deciding whether she was annoyed or offended. "They're children," she finally said. "They do what children do. And unlike the world I left behind, I don't display them for cameras. So I'd expect questions to respect that." Savannah blinked. "I meant it warmly. People are naturally curious." "Curiosity can be invasive," Meghan cut in. "Especially from those who've never lived under my level of scrutiny." Savannah adjusted slightly in her chair. "Understood. But you have spoken publicly about motherhood before." "Because I chose to," Meghan snapped lightly. "That doesn't give everyone else permission to poke into my children's lives." Another pause, another shift. Savannah gestured subtly to her notes. "All right, let's move on." But Meghan was leaning in now, eyes sharp. "Good idea." Savannah felt the familiar warning. This conversation was sliding toward something dangerous. She lifted her glass and sipped slowly to reset the energy. The faint hum of equipment filled the silence. Meghan straightened, preparing and not to talk, but to defend. Savannah started again, steady. In past interviews, you've mentioned the challenges of moving from royal life to private life. Looking back, what was the hardest part? Meghan exhaled sharply, as if the question was obvious. The hardest part was realizing how deeply people misunderstand everything. People judge what they've never lived. Savannah nodded. I imagine the pressure must have been immense. Can you? Meghan asked suddenly. Savannah blinked. I haven't lived it, but I want to understand your perspective. Then I'd hope the questions wouldn't feel so predictable, Meghan said, the comment soft but cutting. Savannah breathed through the irritation creeping in. Let's shift a bit, she said gently. You've spoken about empowerment for young women. What does that mean for you now? It means not explaining myself endlessly, Meghan said. It means choosing projects that uplift people, not institutions. Are you referring to the royal family as an institution? Savannah asked. Isn't that what it is? Meghan replied. Savannah tried again. Do you feel anything positive came from your time in the monarchy? I learned resilience, Meghan said tightly, and that sometimes courage is walking away from a toxic space, even when the world expects you to smile. Savannah nodded. You've mentioned toxicity before. Do you mean the media, the institution, or personal relationships? Meghan's annoyance flickered. You see, this is what I mean. You want me to name names. I won't give you that moment. I'm not asking for names, Savannah said softly. Just reflection. And I'm giving it, Meghan replied. Just not the way you want. Silence pressed in again. Savannah softened her tone. Let's talk about your work with Harry. Oh, here we go. Meghan sighed. Everything doesn't have to be tied to Harry. I exist on my own. I didn't mean otherwise, Savannah said. Yet you did, Meghan shot back. It's always Harry this, Harry that. Savannah regrouped. All right. Then let me rephrase. What is your vision moving forward? That caught Meghan off guard, but not in a good way. My vision, she said slowly, is to create and thrive without being asked to justify it. I'm tired of explaining my existence. I understand, Savannah said. But part of sharing your story is helping people see your journey. Insight doesn't mean interrogation, Meghan said coldly. It's not meant to feel like one. But it does, Meghan insisted. Your tone suggests judgment. Savannah's eyebrows lifted slightly. I'm sorry you feel that way. Well, Meghan said sharply, intentions don't erase impact. The studio felt hotter now. Savannah forced a gentle smile. You've inspired many people. When you think about your legacy. My legacy? Meghan scoffed lightly. I'm not some relic. I'm a real person with goals. I shouldn't have to defend them. Savannah opened her mouth, but Meghan wasn't done. And honestly, Savannah, I hope this interview isn't another attempt to twist my words. I came here believing you were different. The accusation hung thick in the air. Savannah, though shaken, kept her voice level. We're here for an honest conversation. Good, Meghan said, arms folding. Let's hope it stays that way. But Savannah knew better. Things were only going downhill. The air felt heavy now. Even the gentle hum of the vents seemed louder. Savannah adjusted her mic, a message to the crew that she was holding steady, even as the interview spun further out of her control. Meghan sat tall, polished, poised but radiating irritation strong enough to cut the air. Savannah tried a softer subject. Motherhood. You've been protective of your children's privacy. How do you balance giving them normal life with public interest? Meghan released something between a sigh and a laugh. Savannah, it's simple. I protect them. That's what good mothers do. Of course. Do you feel pressure? Pressure from who? Meghan interrupted. The media, the public. I stopped caring what strangers expect of me long ago. I only ask because many public parents struggle with air. Maybe they do, Meghan said. I handle things differently. It wasn't the words, so it was the tone. Every answer was a quiet slap. Savannah tried again. Let's talk about your recent projects advocating for mental health. Empowerment. What motivates you? Motivation isn't the point, Meghan said with a small shrug. I do these things because they matter, because I use my influence well. I know that's hard for some people. Savannah blinked. Why do you think it's hard for people? Oh, maybe because society still dislikes a woman who knows her worth. I think many people celebrate strong women, Savannah said gently. I know I do. Meghan's eyes narrowed as if testing her sincerity. That depends on your definition of strong. Savannah kept going. You've said stepping away from royal duties was best for your family. Do you feel you've found peace? Meghan hesitated and then shows annoyance over honesty. Peace is complicated. But I'm better off than I was trapped in that system. When you say system, Savannah asked, do you mean the monarchy or the pressure around it? It's all connected, Meghan said. The monarchy, the press, the expectations. One machine. And I'm done feeding it. The room chilled. Savannah's jaw tightened slightly. Some might say that through interviews, books, documentaries, you're still part of that conversation. Meghan's voice sharpened. I share my truth. That's not feeding the machine. That's reclaiming my voice. Surely you understand that as a journalist. I do, Savannah said. But conversation means being open, even to hard questions. Meghan sighed loudly. Savannah, these aren't hard questions. They're outdated narratives. Savannah felt the hit. Okay, she said. Then let's pivot. Many critics are. Oh, we're talking about critics now, Meghan muttered. Meghan, Savannah said calmly, I'm exploring both sides. And that's the issue, Meghan snapped. Not every opinion deserves space. Some are hateful. And I'm tired of pretending they matter. I understand criticism can be painful. No. Meghan cut in sharply. You don't understand. You've never lived what I've lived. Savannah steadied herself. Then explain it to me. That's what these conversations are for. These conversations, Meghan said coldly, are usually for entertainment, for picking apart people like me. And I'm done being picked apart. Savannah felt the shift. Hostility now replaced irritation. I'm not here to dissect you, she said softly. I'm here for open dialogue. Are you? Meghan asked, tilting her head. Because it feels like I'm defending myself against old assumptions. Savannah breathed deeply. Then let me ask something more personal. What do you want people to understand about you that they don't? Meghan's answer was instant and icy. That I don't owe anyone understanding. Savannah froze. Meghan leaned in. Honestly, Savannah, these questions feel beneath me. I expected a different interview, not another attempt to box me in. Savannah's composure cracked for the first time. Meghan, I'm doing my job. Then maybe your job needs rethinking. The words hit like a quiet slap. Savannah lowered her eyes, regrouping. Meghan sat still, waiting, as though she were running the interview now. Savannah realized this wasn't tension. This was collision. She straightened. Meghan, I want to end by talking about the future. What do you see ahead for yourself and your family? Meghan rolled her eyes, a subtle, but noticeable. The future is whatever I make it. I'm not here to give the world a plan. People see what I allow them to see. Savannah nodded. Do you hope to reconnect with family someday? With the royal? Oh, for goodness sake, Meghan snapped. Are we back to that? I only meant no. Meghan cut in. You meant to drag this into royal drama like every interviewer. I expected better. Savannah's expression stiffened slightly. I'm simply doing what journalists do. You've spoken about these issues before, Yes. Well, maybe I'm done explaining myself. Meghan laughed coldly, especially to people who act objective but are just fishing. Savannah inhaled sharply. Her patience was nearly gone. All right, she said quietly. Let me ask one final question. Meghan crossed her arms. Make it worth my time. Savannah leaned forward, firm but calm. You talk about reclaiming your voice, but you've also accused nearly every institution you've been part of, Hollywood, the monarchy, the media, of mistreating you. Do you ever consider whether part of the conflict comes from how you respond to people? Silence. Meghan's eyes widened, not in shock, but offense. Wow, she whispered. So that's where we are. It's an honest question, Savannah said. No, Meghan replied, voice sharp like cracked ice. It's manipulative. It's a passive-aggressive way of painting me as the problem. No one is painting